Hey, good morning, guys. It's Goose here. Let's get ready for Stock Talk. STN Stock Talk with Ricky and myself. Ready for a great day. Sorry, guys. I was just looking at a couple things. I actually have a couple bonus ones at the end of the broadcast while I'm doing mine.
Bonus.
You got it. I got two of them that I love that I'm going to add to my list today that look really, really great. I'll give you those afterwards. Guys, come check us out at stocktraders.net. We have a free trading floor over there. We got a free trial on the premium side. A lot of great communication going on over there. As we say every day, just to get through the basics here is just trade your own plan, guys. Ricky and I are putting together these ideas every day, looking at gappers, looking at the small cap ones, and as he calls them, his turds in play. And needless to say, we're trying to find stuff for you every day. If you're liking it, hit the like button, spread the word about us, read the disclaimer up that's in front of you, as well as in the description area. And we got a lot to talk about. So I'm just going to turn it right over to Ricky. I got about 3 to 5 things I want to go over, and I got some really good ones, I think, on my plate here. So let's get rocking, Ricky. Let's go.
All right. I guess I'm going to make mine quick. All right, guys, I'm just going to hop right into it. First thing I'm looking at is AMDA, and I'm already a little bit disappointed. This is not the pre-market action I'm sure most people were hoping for. I think people wanted it to stay strong, maybe get a push on the 455. But apparently 450 killed it. Let's go over the basics on it real quick, though, just in case something changes and it turns around. The OS on it's about 4.2 million shares. The float's about the same. They had $539,000 cash at the end of the year. They burn almost $400K a month. So you do the math. And not to mention, I think it was Maxim out the other day saying like either it was an upgrade or something. They were saying something, but it was funny because if you read into it, they were basically saying, yeah, they need financing. These people need money. And they were trying to spin that positive. I believe they're waiting on an effect. And the thing I just want to point out about the market that we've been in lately is that we've seen time and time again where there's something that we all know is a turd, such as AMDA or ZSAN, or there's been so many lately that all have the need for cash. We know a raise is coming, and they're not even trying to hide it. And in fact, I mean, depending on whether you're wearing your tinfoil hat or not, we can debate whether or not they know that we know it, and they know how that they're playing us in our psychology. But they have their S1 or their S3s out there, and so it's like, look, guys, we're gonna do a raise. And what happens? It squeezes. And what we've also been seeing is they keep doing these amendments, which drag out the before how long it takes for them to get their notice of effectiveness from the SEC. And so, people have been getting short and then expecting the raise, and then the raise doesn't come and the shorts get squeezed real hard. And usually, it's hard to take a loss on something that is a turd and has a raise coming. So it just creates almost this bias that in turn makes everyone more stubborn than they need to be. So that being said, play this thing intraday. If you get a good size profit, lock in and then keep some on if you want to swing, if you have cushion. But don't be swinging things short overnight when you have zero cushion. In this market, it's financial suicide, guys. So that's how I'm looking at AMDA. I actually don't have shares on it, but I just wanted to throw it out there because it is a huge turd, and we do know the financing is on the horizon, but just don't get caught. The next thing I'm looking at, guys, is DCIX, and this is a turd amongst turds. This is the one that I'm focused most on today. I do have shares of this, and I have plenty of them. Now we're gapping up really, really big right now. I think we're at like 70% pre-market. You can see some levels that we're pushing. This daily chart, obviously, if you guys are familiar with DCIX, they've done probably like 10 reverse splits. I don't know, a ton. So that's how you end up with charts like this, and it's just nonstop dilution. Kalani was part of it. Everyone's familiar with that. They have a 7 million OS right now, and the float should be about the same. Kalani, last I checked, pretty much done with all those Series B convertible preferred. They do have a $140 million shelf. They had 6.4 million cash at the end of the year. They burn about $1 million a month, and they could always sell a ship or two, but usually these serial diluters stick to what they know best. And so I'm assuming that they're probably going to use this run. There's no way to tell if this is going to be a multi-day or not. It may spark the whole sector. We may see all the other shippers go, but I'm going to play it on an intraday basis. This thing should have some backside if it can get extended. And so far we already are. I'm already excited. It's at levels. I'm ready to play it. So as long as we get an opening setup or get even more extension and then a setup, I will be shorting this today, guys. The last thing I'm looking at is TRIP. They had earnings. They beat. You can see the big gap. The problem I have with it is the gap is pretty large. I would love to see 45s first or maybe even 44s, and then it gets strong. But you can see on the daily, we have some levels. And what I'm most worried about, let me just make the daily large. This is what has me the most worried, is the last time they had earnings when they gapped and crapped. But I actually like this one a bit better. I think it's a 50 magnet. And if you look at the weekly chart, you can see where that number's coming from. We've had this downtrend. I really think we could push up into the 50 level. But we'll have to see if we get the opening set up on it. We'll have to see if it's strong and if we can clear 47s. That's all I got for you guys. I know Goose has got some good ones, and I can't even wait to hear the bonus stuff. So go ahead, buddy.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for giving me a couple extra minutes. I'm going to go right into MTCH, was my first one. I talked about it coming into this 37.50 area. Just so you know, I already started a little position in here in the 37.40 area, about 1/5 size. I really like the long idea on this. This is kind of a retrace in what I'm looking at. I like everything about it. I'm going to give you a couple other thoughts on this. Right here, there's about a 60% pullback from, the pre-market action. And yeah, I'm not worried about this. If this wants to go test on a G2C type play where it comes down to the close at the open, I'll look for the long. Obviously, I'm always going to be smart, but I do like, the way this is held. This came in with that Facebook news. I talked about it early on. I really think that this thing was overdone. I think this name's going to be okay, and I think it's going to push back up on 40. Let's see how it happens. I've already got a little starter in here in this 40 area, 37.40, and I'm looking for anywhere, 39 or better on this. So we'll see what happens up towards the open. But this is part of my plan. Usually I don't start, too big pre-market, but I did want to let you guys know because I've been talking about it pre-market in the room that I did put a little starter on here at 37.40. Let me just jump right into the next one is AAXN. And AAXN got a little bit ahead of itself. When I was writing this, it was at the 48.50 area here, which it's okay. So it's giving me a little bit of a tough time. We've talked about it again in some of these stock talks that as far as what I'm looking at, and when they get way away from my entry price, is it done? No, it doesn't mean that it can't pull back at the open and get a little imbalance. So that's what I'm hoping for. So here we are. Just so you guys know, is we're back up on 50, which was my initial target. But that 47 area is really where I want to be, which is right in this pocket from a 50 to 50 to 60% retrace area. And I really like this idea here, guys. I think it's going to be a real strong one. I just want to see a nice pullback. Obviously, you can see it's strong so far. When they start acting like this pre-market, just so you guys know, I will entertain and watch it at this 48 and see if it wants to hold. My entry area still wants to be around this 47, but I want to see how it holds there because there's still enough meat on the bone for $1.50 or $2 on a push back up on 50. You can see it's already traded there pre-market. So be patient. There's plenty out there this morning, and I just want to keep going because I do have quite a few different things to talk about this morning, and wanted to give you a couple extra ones this morning that I really, really am loving the setups on. So I'm going to jump into AAOI. Now, this is a funny one. If my tweet, you could be like, he's long, he's short. What does he want to do? Well, let me just tell you why. First of all, looking at the numbers and looking back, I would love to short this into this area right here, this 34 area. That's what I'm looking for. So right now we're, AAOI is in this 32.5 area. And why did I talk about 31.30? Well, you could see prior, this is about the 31.30, 31.59. It's in this pocket right off when it was holding up on this 20-day. This is going to be the area that's 31.30 to 31.60 on a pullback. I'm going to look for the long side. So there's two trades. I'm looking to possibly fade it off that 34 area, which would mean 33.50 to 34. See how it acts. You can obviously see the pre-market action, what I'm looking at here. As well as if it wants to, just really wash down at the opening, look real heavy. If it wants to show me a nice little higher low down there at that 31.30, 31.50 area, I'll look to entertain a bounce play for a couple points. So AAOI has a couple of really nice setups there. Here's a couple of my bonus ones I didn't put out there, and I want to throw them up there. First one I want to talk about is COTY. Okay, this one I love the daily. When I saw this gapping up $1. This is not a, this is one right here. I would love a push. I mean, I'm licking my chops right now thinking, man, do we get a quick run at the open here up into the $17.50 to $18 area, man, I would be all over this for a short. It can happen, and I will be all over this as a fade. I'm not sure what I'll get out of it, 50 cents, a buck, but I really would love to have some strength right at the open end of this thing. I'm not sure it's going to get there. 17 might not be enough meat on the bone for me on this thing. They beat numbers by a little bit, but anything up into the 1750, what do we always say about prior support area, is going to become resistance area. So I really, really love this for a fade up into the 1750. It was brought to us by another one of our instructors. He had shot it over this morning, Titus, which is it was a great eye on this one. He also posted one on Roku. Man, this is another one I'm licking my chops on. It's already traded a little bit over the level I wanted, but I want you guys to watch this Roku. I love the idea for a long. Let me show you where, though. 34.20 is going to be the area. Let's see how it opens. Let's see where it holds. You can see that's going to be over the 50-day, and we have some range here for a push up on 36 to 37.5. So, but guys, be patient. Don't anticipate. Let it push through it. Wait for the pullback, and then you get your entry. You don't need to chase it. Make sure your risk rewards and all that are set up real nice on these things. Allow for the range. This name has a little bit more range on it, as you can see. But I really like the long setup on ROKU, another great eye. So those are a couple of the bonus ones I want to throw at you guys this morning. Let's get at it today. I think we got a lot on our agenda. I'm excited, and let's have a super day today, guys. Just so you know, on MTCH, I'll turn it over to Ricky, I'm going to have some stock out there at 39 for whatever I picked up at 37.40. If that happens to go off pre-market, then I'll revisit it. But so far, acting pretty good. So, Ricky, back to you, man.
Get it, Goose. Thanks a lot, man. Loving those bonuses. As always, guys, make sure you have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you don't have a trade. You know where you can find a plan. Come over to StockTraders.net. We'll get you hooked up, set straight away. Go out there, protect your capital, and most importantly, let's crush it. Peace.